Hi there, Dr. Jimmy Sanderson here, and I'll be your instructor for IDS 403, Preparing for the Future. And as you may have gathered as you've looked at the syllabus, this class is really all about technology and the way that technology has affected us over history, some of the things that are going on now, and then really what are the implications for the future. So, one thing I think this course does a really good job of is looking at how technology is really a rather broad term. So we kind of tend to think of technology as digital or computers, but it's been around for a very long time. I mean, the radio was a technology. So I'm excited to kind of talk about the historical dimensions of technology. And I think what a lot of you will find interesting, because technology is such a huge part of most of our lives, right now, is just what are the effects and the implications of technology. So, for instance, social media. It's a great tool to connect with people. It's a great way if you're separated from family or friends to stay in touch with them. At the same time, we also share a lot of information on social media that can be used for marketing, that can be used for surveillance. So, for instance, many jobs and even now universities and colleges are screening applicants based on their social media profiles. And so, there's generally a news story every day about somebody at work to do with something that happened on social media that cost them their job or they got disciplined for. So you might keep an eye on those kind of stories as well. Also, just some of you may have seen a story. This is about a month old now, but Facebook is testing facial recognition software that would allow you to be able to identify people in photos without really them knowing you're doing it. So there's some really interesting implications, I think, there as well. In the class, we're going to be talking about things like technology and biology and health. So you may have heard terms like genetic engineering, where parents can now choose the gender of their baby and can even kind of design some of the biological characteristics such as hair color and eye color. And I think there's some really interesting kind of outcomes that could lead to, in terms of like well, I want my kid to be a good athlete or a good musician, so I'm going to try and manipulate genes in that way. We'll also talk about the way technology is marketed to us. Oftentimes we're told being connected is good, and I definitely would agree with that in some ways, but at the same time a lot of people are feeling very disconnected even though we're connected. So I think a good example of that is when you go out in public, the restaurant is a really good place for this. Just look around and see how often people are on their smartphones right in the middle of conversations with other people. And there's people who say, well, our etiquette and our manners are changing and evolving with the technology. I think there's pros and cons to that. So that's something we'll definitely address in the course. So your final project for this course will be picking a technology of your choosing and kind of analyzing its history, its uses, both positive and negative, its effects, and where you see it kind of going in the future. So it's really open-ended. There's several milestones along the way that will kind of help you plot your course up to that final presentation. Definitely want to encourage you to reach out to me and let me know if you have problems or concerns. You can do that through the My Instructor link that has my email. You can also find me on Twitter and LinkedIn. Definitely you can also use the question and answer forum in the Blackboard course as well. So again, really excited, looking forward to our time together, and I will talk to you in week 1.